I recently released a real estate market video for Palm Beach County, and of course, I can't leave out Broward County, so you guessed it. This video is about real estate in Broward and what's really going on. You know, there are a lot of videos out there right now about how the market is doomed and how the bubble burst, blah, 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 blah. The reality, at least for South Florida, isn't as gloomy as other people might paint it as. Don't get me wrong, we are in a down market, and in most of the country, the market is in bad shape. But in Florida, and especially South, it's a little different. You know, our market is different because many people are still moving here from other states, and big percentage are paying cash. I recently got my hands on Palm Beach stats and made a video which you want to watch right here. But I also grabbed Broward County since we primarily service Palm Beach and Broward County. Can't do one without the other, right? Now, according to the local Realtors Association, home sales in Broward County have decreased by 3.6% in October. The question I get asked the most is, how's the market? Everyone wants to know when it's a good time to buy and sell. So in this video, we're gonna go over the numbers and talk about the reality of the Broward County, Florida real estate market this fall, 2023. And for those of you that are out of state or out of the area, we're talking about the greater Fort Lauderdale area from Hollywood and Miramar all the way up to Deerfield Beach and Parkland. Broward is the smallest of the three counties representing South Florida, smack in between Miami and Palm Beach, and the market looks a little different here, which you should know about. Welcome back to those of you who have subscribed or have been on our channel before. I appreciate your support and I'm thankful that you're back. For those of you who are first timers on this channel, welcome. My name is Jonathan and I've been a local realtor in South Florida for the past 18 years. The goal with Live South Florida is to keep you informed on the South Florida market, give you insight into neighborhoods and cities, as well as things to do, restaurants to try, and places to visit. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any future videos. If you need any real estate help, feel free to text me at 561-609-1345. Find me on Instagram at Mr_J Alexander, or go to our website,jalexandergroup.com. Now, before we review the numbers, it's important that you know we're comparing October 2023 versus October 2022. The interest rates were similar, around 7%, give or take, so you know we're comparing apples to apples. Okay, let's dive in. In October 2023, as I said, Broward County saw a 3.6% decrease in home sales compared to the previous year. The total number of home sales went from 2,229 to 2,149, so it's safe to say that the real estate scene in Broward is stabilizing from a previous highs, but not taking a plunge like many believe. In fact, median home prices are still up here, and people continue to move to the area from the Northeast, like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. The West Coast, primarily California, and internationally from South America, Europe, and Russia. There's just still not enough single-family homes available in comparison to condos, which we're going to discuss. Now, we've been dealing with a huge inventory crisis the past few years, and single-family home inventory in terms of active listings in Broward is still down, and this month by 8.5%, going from 3,802 to 3,478 homes listed. On the contrary, interesting things are going on with condo and townhome inventory, with active listings skyrocketing by 45.3%, going from 3,855 to 5,601 in October. This is the largest increase in the entire Tri-County area, beating Palm Beach's active condo inventory, 37% increase, in Miami's 9% increase. With rising costs in condo and HOA fees all across South Florida, increased insurance, added regulations and restrictions, many longtime condo owners and investors are trying to cash out with prices still high and have decided to sell. Honestly, there's been a bit of a worry among Broward County officials in Florida about new condo safety rules they anticipate will hit condo residents in the wallet. These rules, which came after the 2021 Surfside tragedy, means that condos 25 years or older need to get a structural checkup by the end of 2024. The downside? Rising insurance prices and the threat of more folks losing their homes. Now, while some are suggesting more time to meet these rules or finding ways to help out elderly residents, others are clear that there won't be any state bailouts. Based on an article released from FloridaPolitics.com, the Broward County Commissioner thinks the deadline could be extended, just not too much to avoid people from putting it off to the last minute. We shall see what happens next with this. The thing is that people with a lot of money are still buying here, especially newer construction luxury condos like the Four Seasons or the Auberge. So let's look at sales. The total pending sales in Broward County is flat compared to the previous year, with 0% change, or if you'd like to get technical, a 0.015% decrease. The increase of pending home sales and pending condo sales basically balance it out. Again, if we look at condos and townhomes, you see that increase in new listings, but a decrease in pending sales, which are listings that are actually going under contract. What does that mean? This means that the inventory of properties available will increase. This should impact sales for next month unless all those new listings sell right away, which isn't happening. New listings in Broward increased by a solid 15.6% in October 2023. Single-family homes saw a 5.3% increase in new listings, while condos experienced a 26% jump. Again, more inventory for buyers in the market this season, moving us towards a balanced market. Previous to the frenzy of the pandemic years, Florida did have seasonal buying cycles, which we may see again as the market continues to go back to normal. Now, if we go back to the first chart, you'll see the condo townhouse market in Broward is now at 4.6 months of supply, almost doubling from this time last year with a 91.7% increase, signifying again that we are now in a more balanced market in that sector. When it comes to home prices, Broward County prices have increased. The median price for single-family homes rose by 6.5% year over year in October 2023, going from $545,000 to $575,000. That's an average of $30,000 more in 12 months. And existing condos median prices increased from 4.1%, $262,000 to $272,750. It's a clear indication that people are still buying, and for those that can afford to buy here, it's been good. But for most people, South Florida has become unaffordable for entry-level buyers who have been priced out of the market. Speaking of numbers, let's dive into some more figures. The total dollar volume in Broward County for October reached an impressive $1.2 billion. When we look specifically at single-family homes, the dollar volume increased by 14% compared to the previous year, reaching a total of $800 million. And condos saw a small jump of 1.1%, totaling $410 million. Now let's talk about pricing. The median percent of the original list price received for single-family homes in October was 97.1%. That means that sellers were able to get pretty close to their asking price. As for existing condos, the median percent of the original list price received was 96.5%, which is still excellent. Let's talk about how long it took to sell. The median number of days between listing and contract dates for single-family home sales in Broward was just 23 days, down from 27 days the previous year. And the median time to sell for single-family homes was 63 days, down from 67 days. Now, let's shift our focus to townhomes and condos. The median number of days between the listing date and contract date was 27 days, which is a slight increase from 21 days, and the median number of days to sell for condos was 66 days, up from 62 days. So, it seems like condos and townhomes took a little longer to close, which is normal here in Florida, given HOA approvals and other factors, but this is still within a reasonable time frame. Again, with the huge increase in active inventory and holidays approaching, days on market are most likely going to increase. What about cash? Well, in South Florida and Broward, cash sales represented 39.65% of all closed sales in October. Just to give you context, if you look across the entire United States, about 29% of home sales are made in cash, according to the NAR statistics. Needless to say, cash buyers are alive and well in Broward. Foreign buyers and wealthy buyers love South Florida and have the cash to back it up. People from pricier markets like New York and California are selling their homes and using the cash from the proceeds to make these larger purchases. So let's look at the cash sales. For townhouses and condos, cash sales accounted for 54.9% of all existing condo sales in Broward, and for single-family homes, cash sales made up 24.4% of all closed sales. 75% of those deals were still financed. Now, these numbers are pretty good, given that interest rates were still considered high this time last year at 7%. Okay, so mortgage interest rates have been on a roller coaster ride, but the good news is rates have been somewhat declining as of late, and according to experts, we could see rates in the 6% range by spring 2024. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out and if prices continue to rise into 2024. I hope this snapshot of the Broward County real estate market helps give you clarity. Don't forget that staying informed is key in this ever-fluctuating industry. People say all types of stuff, and a lot of it is wrong. Make sure to educate yourself on the market so you can make the best decision. Is it a good time to buy? Well, it depends. I'm not going to sit here and say yes, because it really depends on what your goals are and what your situation currently is. What I will say is that the inventory is increasing, and now that we're in a more balanced market, buyers will have more options and better prices. What I mean by that is that sellers will be more open to lowering the list price and negotiating. So if you're financing, you can negotiate a 2-1 buy down, which means you pay 2% lower your first year and then 1% lower the second year before you reset to the initial rate the third year. Let's use today's rates as an example. Let's say you get a mortgage for 7%, but you negotiate a buy down. Your mortgage rate for the first year is 5%, and then in year 2 it goes up to 6% before settling at 7% the start of year 3. It stays at 7% for the remainder of the loan moving forward, but if rates come down at any point, you can refinance and cut your interest rate. That's what a lot of finance buyers are doing. What happens if you just wait for interest rates to come down? The first thing is you don't know when that will be, so you're on the sidelines waiting, and it could take years. I have buyers right now on the sidelines waiting for over 3 years, and boy, do they regret it. Now, they can't buy and have to wait regardless because they don't qualify for the home they initially wanted. That 3 to 4% increase in interest rates, plus the high prices, have killed their purchasing power. Their only options now are that they have to save and make more money so they can increase their affordability, or they'll have to settle for less of a home or continue to rent. This is why it's so important you're informed and understand all of your options. Don't forget to like this video if this content was beneficial, and don't shy away from leaving your thoughts in the comments section. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. My team and I are always here to help if you have any questions or need real estate assistance. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know this information is boring, but it's important you were kept in the know. I'll catch you in the next video.